Good evening. These are the stories making the headlines in the Hot 7 Nightly News. In the wake of talks of decriminalizing marijuana, questions are being raised as to whether a recent ganja arrest by police was necessary. The Public Service Minister touts economic gains made throughout 2018. The president of the Police Welfare Association makes it clear that police officers found guilty of breaking the law are on their own. We have the details of these stories and much more coming up.
This is the Hot 7 Nightly News with Lovely and Amy Joseph.
It is Friday, the 21st of December 2018. Welcome to the Hot 7 Nightly News. I am Lovely St. Amy Joseph. Thank you for joining us. Onlookers have expressed outrage after a group of police officers allegedly roughed up and then arrested a man caught smoking a small portion of marijuana in the William Peter Boulevard. In the wake of talks of decriminalizing the plant, onlookers are questioning whether the incident was absolutely necessary. Rochelle Gonzalez tells us more in this report.
With all eyes on the marijuana industry, a Thursday afternoon incident has sparked fresh calls for haste to be made to pass legislation to decriminalize the plant. According to eyewitness reports, a young man was accosted and arrested by police for allegedly smoking marijuana while sitting in the William Peter Boulevard. The incident sparked outrage among onlookers, who claimed that the arrest was unnecessary, especially since the young man was cooperative and the quantity of the plant in his possession was minute. One eyewitness said what he saw was unfortunate and disappointing, especially to see officers being bullies behind badges. He went on to give his account of the incident.
I saw the two recruits passing the two police officers. When they was going up, they reversed, they come back, and they saw the two guys sitting there. When he saw the police, he just put the little joint of marijuana and put it in his pocket. When he put it in his pocket, the police stopped there and he said, "What you have there?" He said, "Well, I have nothing." When he take out, the police just say, "Where you are going? You are going nowhere." He called the other officers and they came, and then he just hold the man, rushed the man on the wall, put the man down, handcuff him and this kind of thing. But the point is not, the man is not graduated as a police officer. You know, I don't believe that it is right for you to rough somebody like that as a maybe even a little fellow smoking a joint, for him to treat the man like that. It's very, very bad. I feel hurt for him because I bear record. I see that with my two eyes, and it is not right to do that.
Another eyewitness said although she understands that the plant is still illegal and that he was smoking it in a public space, which she is opposed to, the force used was still excessive. This sort of behavior, she said, could serve as a police deterrent.
Ils sont gentils maman ils ça parle avec moi c'est gentil monde qui la connaît regardez pour ces grands officiers pour ça parler ba ces monde ça parce que c'est monde ça pour moi ça fait yo petit yo brutaliser yo capitaliser comme si c'est un vieux zombie qui la connaît vieux bail qui vole vous comprenez mais ma d'accord pour filmer just public parler bali ba un petit chance ba un warning vous comprenez c'est qu'on rend la vie ka bail bon qui mène monde qui ça fait bail là yo ka faire foolishness c'est police là moi mes police mais c'est moi c'est un petit bail couillon qui là. C'est couillon qui là nous pas même ni pour parler bail ça les fait bêtises quoi juste parler bail moun exen moun kay comprendre pas comment pour faire bail là vous comprenez et pas pour mener ti boy ça là comme moi hope yo pas kay ni pour vinn belli moi hope yo just kay parler bail caution ni avec la joy pour ça ni Merry Christmas vous comprenez bonne journée merci.
Hot 7 News was unable to ascertain the fate of the young man following the incident. Reporting for Hot 7 News, I am Rochelle Gonzalez.
Thank you, Rochelle. The president of the Police Welfare Association is making it clear that the PWA will not stand in support of police officers found guilty of breaking the law. Chico's statement comes following questions raised about ongoing investigations into the Impacts case as well as the killing of Shakadan Daniel.
The Police Welfare Association is once again addressing the ongoing Impacts case, this time by saying that they will not support officers found guilty of acting unlawfully. PWA President Travis Chico said the association fully respects the law and would not stand in the way of justice. However, he said the PWA supports prosecution based on evidence and that verdicts must be reached fairly and thoroughly.
The Police Welfare Association will support the prosecution of any police officer once we believe that there is sufficient evidence before the court. We believe that no court in St. Lucia should be used for show business. And if we are going to prosecute people based on pleasing anybody, we ought never to use the courts for show business in this country. Never. And this is our standing. This is where we stand, that cases must be proved beyond a reasonable doubt.
With that said, Chico continued on to indicate that until verdicts are made, the PWA will stand by its members.
We continue to say the very same thing, that justice delayed is justice denied. Our members for quite a number of years have been sidelined by this organization. They are not entitled to promotion and a number of issues. And this is one of the issues that, as a welfare association, by parting with the TUF, will continue and will spend no opportunity for the employer for us not to discuss. We will in 2019, January 2019, we intend every week to issue a statement on impacts. We've had support from attorneys from Trinidad who were here with us, and they've pledged their allegiance to coming in to assisting in representing our members at this point. So we will continue to hit impacts, and we believe that it is fair at this point in time that a decision concerning the future of impacts should be made come 2019.
Chico said the same stipulations stand for officers involved in the Shakadan Daniel case, innocent until proven guilty.
There was a ruling by the Coroner's Court, and the Police Welfare Association does not or has not objected to any ruling. However, until then, these members remain members of the Welfare Association. And what is necessary of the Welfare Association is to continue to show support, to continue to meet with those officers and to ensure that the necessary is in place for them, counseling, to at least give them the opportunity to secure, if not the best, but one of the best attorneys in this country, if anything ought to happen.
Chico said with the case of Daniel, the PWA understands that there is a victim, and so they quietly await the verdict on this matter. Reporting for Hot 7 News, I am Rochelle Gonzalez.
The Ministry of Health is raising concern over practices which could affect the personal health and safety of individuals this season. One of these is excessive alcohol consumption, which can lead to issues with driving and sleep deprivation. The practice is not only disastrous to one's physical health, but also a person's mental health. Nisha Charles reports.
The Christmas season has become synonymous with drinking loads of alcohol. St. Lucia is no different. In order to ensure that all can enjoy the season responsibly, the Ministry of Health and Wellness has issued a number of messages on various topics, including excessive alcohol consumption. While the Deputy Coordinator of the Substance Abuse Unit understands that it is the season and some alcohol is permitted, what she does not encourage is the practice of binge drinking.
Binge drinking is actually sitting in maybe one episode, a few hours, and just drinking drink after drink after drink. And usually this happens, or people engage in this, and it's sort of normal practice. And so we say, I only do this once a year or twice a year, or it's not very often that I do this. I don't drink every day, so it's safe. But we want to just highlight that these are the types of activities that tend to lead to more harms in all sorts of areas. Binge drinking usually sends people into states of mind that they don't usually anticipate, because when you drink alcohol, the more you drink, it sort of disinhibits, or it makes people feel more and more relaxed to do things that they would not normally do.
The Deputy Coordinator says beyond the good feeling or getting high effect, there are many dangers associated with excessive alcohol consumption.
Sometimes you may hear about fights between family members, fights between friends, and when you listen to the background, you realize that these are persons who might have been intoxicated, and maybe not realizing that they are intoxicated because they've been sitting and drinking for a long period of time, maybe for hours at a time. So in all of our festivities, there are certain things that we need to be careful about. And number one is to avoid binge drinking. And how you avoid binge drinking is, first of all, if you're intending to go out and party, it's important that you leave your home with a full stomach. Don't leave hungry. Or before you drink, you ensure that you are full, because as you eat, it slows down the digestion of alcohol. And what causes intoxication is when there is too much alcohol in the system at one time. So the excess alcohol is what causes this feeling of being intoxicated or being drunk, as people say.
She also asked the public to respect the needs of those who are recovering alcoholics, those who do not wish to drink because of bad experiences, or individuals below the age of 18.
This is a time where parents tend to say, oh, it's a Christmas season, so I will allow my child to have a little something. What we know is that the later that us as parents, the later that someone is introduced to alcohol, the less the risk is that they can become dependent or use it in a harmful way.
Excessive alcohol consumption may also cause alcohol depression, which can lead someone to commit or attempt suicide. For the Hot 7 News, Nisha Charles reporting.
Thank you, Nisha. Public Service Minister Dr. Eubaldus Raymond takes a look back at the state of the economy at the end of 2018. The minister reflects on both the high and low points, detailing where improvements are needed for the new year.
As most reflect upon their highs and lows for 2018, one member of the government is joining the masses, talking about the successes and failures of the United Workers' Party government, as well as looking forward to a brighter 2019. Public Service Minister Dr. Eubaldus Raymond admitted that the government had to work through many setbacks to most of their plans.
The government had planned on taking on certain very important infrastructural development, but what kept us back was the fact that we were not able to get that money up front. So hence the reason we are hoping that we would have had some level of public investment programs currently, in fact, more aggressively in the economy, but because of the delay in getting that money from the Taiwanese government, that kind of, to some extent, delayed the level of economic activity we'd have hoped to have seen through the development and the implementation of various public sector investment programs.
On the brighter side, Dr. Raymond expressed hope that the coming year will bring more successes.
Given the fact that now we have gotten the approval and about to get the approval of Parliament to upgrade the HIA, to build our roads network, upgrade our road network, to upgrade our schools, and also the various sports facilities in the country. That will happen next year. And of course, let us not forget the building of the St. Jude's. So we are hoping that these infrastructural developments in St. Lucia will create a wave of economic activity come next year. And we are hoping that it will redound to increase employment, of course. That is more important, very important in the economy.
Dr. Raymond said the main cause behind the delays is procedure. He said the government has no control over the operations of donors and lenders. Reporting for Hot 7 News, I'm Rochelle Gonzalez.
This is the Hot 7 TV Nightly News. Still to come, a former banker explains whether she would sign off on the redevelopment loan for HIA. A meat vendor calls out environmental health officials over delays in inspecting livestock for slaughter. And the Labour Party's spokesperson on education questions government's commitment to the sector. Stay with us. These stories and more are coming up after the break.